listeners. Welcome to another episode of Romance Unraveled. This is one of your co hosts, Jacob Bozen. And for the month of December, I'm really excited. We have a new co host. She is one of my best friends. We go about 5 or 6 years back now. Her name is Chelle Rowan. Chelle and I met on a political campaign together. It was a gubernatorial campaign that we ran and wasn't successful, but we formed a really good friendship out of it. And she actually was a guest on the show a few months back. If you're a loyal listener, you'll recognize her voice. But yeah, she will be the co host with me this month. And let's just have you introduce yourself.
My name's Chelle Rowan, and on that other episode, I'll be listed as Michelle. I've changed my name to reflect all my past history and life lessons and stepping into a new era of my own making, and with it, a new name.
Yeah.
So that's me. I have a podcast. I'm rebranding it. It was Relentlessly Resilient. It's now going to be Alchemy of Awareness. I am a intuitive life guide, and I am working with women who are pretty much 50 and older, maybe a little bit younger than that, but second phase of life, whether they've had a kind of gray divorce, they call it, or they have had a loss, and it's about processing through that grief and creating and curating a magical life.
Well, today is one of her stories, and I was with her the whole time through this. I don't know how
Oh,
many
thank
months
God,
it went.
Jacob. Thank God I had you.
And so let's just get right into it.
Well, I had met a guy, I'm pretty sure it was on a dating app, don't remember which one now. This was probably at least 6 years ago.
I'm pretty sure it was
Um,
Tinder, don't you
oh
think?
gosh, I would hope not. I wasn't really on that one very often, but when I was on dating apps, so yeah, Tinder and Bumble were kind of the same. I know Tinder has a reputation for being a like a hookup place, but it seemed like in Utah everyone was on both, and I was really new into dating. I had just started this process. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, which is why I'm supporting women and helping figuring it out. Don't make all the messy mistakes I made. It's just so unnecessary. But I met this guy, and he was much younger than me. He had a young son. I think he was around 8 years old at the time. And we started dating. And, he seemed kind of like very opposite of my late spouse. My husband had passed from cancer. He was a home builder, and he was very hands-on, but he wasn't a hunter. And this guy was like opposite. He was like a hunter, like to the level of obsession with it. He had, he was renting a home, and there was like tens of thousands of dollars of duck blinds in his garage, but like no living room furniture in his house
Oh
other than a
yeah.
TV and an Xbox and one couch, a small couch, but no dining room table, just beds in the bedrooms, nothing on the walls. Like I thought it was very strange, but for some reason, my brain did not click off like, what are you doing here?
And the thing that's so funny about this is, so if you go to Shell's house, it's like pristine. So it's really funny to me to listen to this because
It's
like
so
she
opposite of who I am.
right, because
I
she
was
has
not awake.
yes, because she has high
Yeah.
standards for people. This guy was not up to those standards, so he wasn't super. I didn't think he was attractive. I don't know how you feel about that, but he
No.
worked
Oh,
at the Air
hell
Force
no.
Base,
Yeah.
and yeah. So let's
Yeah. He
keep
was not
going.
attractive. Anyway, there was nothing redeeming about this guy. Like, I think about it now, and I'm like, I even invited him to a family Thanksgiving. And I think about it now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what was that even about? And the funny thing was, is it wasn't like I was falling in love with him, we were dating. He would come over to my house and occasionally um he would I don't even know really how often he actually took me out. It was so low touch though. We'd go out for some drives. He had some family with some property up in the mountains, and we'd go check out that property. And I just was like in this la la land of like I don't know what this next I was really just floating. I was not grounded. I had no direction. And anyway, the point of the story is we're dating for a couple months and he decides he's going to get waxed. I don't really like hairy men, and my daughter is a wax specialist, so he
Yeah, I'm
gets
on board with you
waxed.
on that. I don't like it either.
Ugh, yeah, I'm just not like, please do not bring me the bearskin rug. Like, that's a no for me. And he goes and gets waxed by my daughter, and he has a massive outbreak. And like his skin is really bothered. But instead of like working with my daughter on it or anything, he's like, "Oh, I have this friend and she has this treatment and this remedy and whatever." Oh, and let me back up before I tell you the story, the rest of that part. Um, he had for some reason shared from the very beginning, and I was like, I don't know, does everyone do this today? I mean, my kids and they're dating people, they share their locations, but like I literally never shared my location with my husband until he had cancer and he was so sick and on the side of the road and we almost couldn't locate him. We started sharing his location with me at that point, but we'd been together 32 years. We had that ability to do that for much longer. Like it just never occurred to us. Like I had no reason to ever share a location with anyone. And so I thought it was really bizarre, but
Yeah,
it actually worked against him.
right. I remember it.
So anyway, one day he tells me, "Oh, I'm going to work." And I just have this big inner knowing, and I thought he was lying to me. So I called Jacob up and I'm like, "This guy is just weird. Like something's going on." And I remembered he was sharing his location with me. So I looked it up and I'm like, he's out like in some field somewhere. Like out west or whatever. And I thought, oh, he must have just lied and gone hunting or whatever. So then later in the day, I get on and I realize that he's been at this house location out west for a very long time. And so I asked him about it, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I went to this girl's house and she's just helping me put these creams on it to help this break out and helping to dry this all up because it's really painful." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were going to work." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I did." Well, I didn't confront him with the fact that I knew that he wasn't at work because he was sharing his location with me. And I didn't know if he was just like forgot that he was doing that. I actually hated it because every time I pulled up my maps, I would see where he was. So it goes on for like another month, and a couple strange things happen. Like it's getting to Christmas time. He's stressed out because he wants to get his son the scooter and he doesn't have enough money for it. And I'm like, well, I'll loan you some of the money for it. So I loan him the money. And then Christmas comes and we do our Christmases separately. And we get together later and he gives me this gift. And he gives me the gift of going up to Midland or something, whatever that area is called in Heber,
Midway.
mid midway to the crater. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, this will be great. So January comes, it comes time for us to go to this crater, and we get up there, and he supposedly has prepaid for this whole thing, and they need like $7 to secure something, a key or something like that, in order to, get your reservation and to also have something, a credit card for any incidentals on the property. And he's like, "I'm really embarrassed, but I can't even get my credit card to work. Something's not right. I'm gonna have to deal with this later." And I'm like, "It's not a big deal. I'll put the $7 down." So we get into the room, and it has like a hot tub in there. The hot tub's broken. It doesn't work. I'm
It's so
like,
funny. So go back to the credit card thing. I wouldn't have said this, but in my mind, I would have been thinking you don't have more than one credit card. Like
oh,
I
well,
have
yeah,
eight.
right. I know. And I'm not going to tell you how many I have, way too many. But I don't use them, right? Like I actually rotate through them depending on points and
Yeah,
things and then
for
just pay them
sure.
off, right? Right. And so I'm like, yeah, no problem, not a big deal. I go in there, I put my card down. Anyway, we get into the room and he'd also said like I was going to take you out to dinner, I was going to do all these things, but then before we left, he's like, "Hey, why don't you pack some stuff since we're going to get up there a little bit later than we planned?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure." So I packed like some charcuterie stuff, some chips, something to drink. So I have this ice cooler. So I'm like setting things up and I'm getting hungry, so I'm starting to snack a little bit. And he's unloading his stuff out of the car. And I shit you not. I turn around and he has brought in rifles in cases, and he is putting them underneath the bed. And like we hadn't spent like overnights very often with each other. Um, and he brings in this handgun that's loaded and he puts it on this nightstand next to his bed. And I'm thinking, am I dying this weekend? Like, this guy is a loser. And at this point, I'm just going through the motions of this and just trying to figure out how I can kind of end this thing. I'm kind of already over it, but I already feel stuck because I'm up there with him and I don't really want to create drama. We're going to go to the crater. I'm like, whatever, just enjoy your time. Like, I can enjoy my time by myself or with anyone, even if I don't like them, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's okay. And so we go into the crater, we do the crater thing, we come back, we're going to take a jacuzzi. Can't take a jacuzzi. We're not going to go out to dinner because obviously he doesn't have the money, and I've already decided my $7 was too much. Like this is too expensive for me. And so we eat on the food that we have and we get up the next morning, we load everything. I did not sleep hardly at all that night. I was just like, why is he sleeping with a gun on the side of the bed? Like, I think that this is the most bizarre thing. And I asked him about it, and he was like, well, you just never know. And we're up here, and I don't go anywhere without my guns. And I'm thinking, you are psychotic. So anyway, we get back, and I'm trying to process this. I'm like, I just don't really know what to do about this. I think this is bizarre. He's supposed to come over and spend some time with me, and I can't really remember all the details. It's been so long at this point, but at some point we were supposed to get together, and he told me he was going to work. But again, it's like I have an uncanny intuition, and I warn men all the time. I'm like, do not lie to me. I cannot handle a liar. And the truth always has its way of finding me. And that is just 100% true. I may not know exactly what it is, but I know. So he tells me he's going to work, and I see that he's not at work. He's at this other location, not too far from his house. And I'm like, this is really strange. So I'm waiting to get the money back. I loaned like $150 for the scooter, and I'm kind of waiting to get the money back, but I'm also kind of curious. And like I say, we don't see a ton of each other anyway. So I'm just like, whatever. He had all of this dehydrator at my house and just
Oh,
some
I
random
remember
stuff.
that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You better remember it. You had to come pick it up, and it's like whatever he was dehydrating smelled like dog biscuit treats or something. It like was horrifyingly smelly. But so I am just like, this is bizarre. He's lying, he's lying, he's lying. So I keep seeing him at this one location, and I'm starting to just get really uncomfortable with everything. And I'm talking to Jacob about it, and I'm like, this guy's lying. I want his shit out of here, and I don't want to ever see him again. So I know that he's supposed to be at work, but I also know like he's pretty close to his house. but I know he's lying to me. So I'm like, Jacob, you got to come over to my house. I need you to help me load all of his shit in the back of my car. I'm going to drive over there. I need you to help me unload it. And then I'm going to take pictures because I don't want to be accused of having any damage. It's like this dehydrator was like a professional, big, like it's probably a couple $1,000. And and so we get it over there. I take a picture, and then Jacob and I drive down to, I think we were in Bountiful or somewhere, and we go to lunch. And we're sitting at this table, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to send him the message. And I send him a picture of all of his stuff, and I'm like, I never want to see you again. Delete my number. I don't know who you are. Goodbye. Within 2 minutes, he stopped sharing his Google with me. We were sitting there literally with it open on our phone,
Right. Yeah.
my phone, and I'm like, he's not responding. He's not responding. The guy literally never responded, never took accountability,
But
never paid me back.
but even before this, we need to talk about the truck situation.
Oh my gosh.
So before we go, so just so we have context, so we'll return back to returning the stuff and like the dehydrator and all that kind of thing. But before this, there was something major that happened, and Shell's better telling it than I am.
During the month of December, he was like, "Yeah, I really need to get a new truck." And his truck was old and like he did need a new vehicle. But like if you can't afford a new vehicle, I guess you just better take care of the one that you have. And so he's taking me to all of these um car lots, and he's talking to all these car lots. And he finally just falls in love with this car. And I'm like, yeah, you should get it. You should get it. You know, this is beautiful, whatever. They run his credit and they're like, dude, this is a no. Like, no. And they actually take him away from me to have that conversation with him, which I bought a lot of cars in my life. In fact, my husband always took me to do the negotiations on all of our vehicles. And I was negotiating stuff for him. He wanted to get all of this aftermarket stuff done there through the dealership. I'm like, absolutely not. That is way too much money. You're going to save a lot of money. You're just going to have to get the cash and do it yourself later. And so we're like doing all of this. They take him back around the corner. They basically tell him, you can't get this. You need to find somebody to co-loan this vehicle with you. And so I'm like, okay, well, I guess like, yeah, maybe. And I was, I didn't really understand everything about what that would implicate and what that would mean. And so, and they're just kind of like ramrodding me through it, like the manager and the salespeople. Everyone's like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's no big deal. No big deal. And they pull out the contract and my name is on the contract. And I said, well, I thought that I wouldn't be responsible for this. You said that I would not be responsible for this. Like, I don't want to have any responsibility for this vehicle. And they said, oh no, when you co-sign a loan, you are responsible. I said, so if he can't make his payment, I'm going to have to make the payment. And they're like, yeah. And I stood up and I ripped the paper in half and I said, I'm absolutely not doing this. And I walked out and everyone was chasing me. The manager, the salesperson, the guy, like everyone's chasing me down this hall. And I'm like, no, it's a hell no. Like, do not. It's a hell no. Do I need to call an Uber? Because like it's a no. So he's like, no, 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 no. I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't understand that this is the way it would be. I totally understand. Oh, let me back up a little bit. They also wanted him to come up with $6,000, which he also didn't have. And I was like, I'm not bringing any money. So if you can't get that $6,000, let's not sign for this truck because I'm not bringing in the money. And so that was the first conversation. And then when I saw the contract and everything, I was just like, absolutely not. Like, no. And I don't really know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. I was just, I was a grieving widow. My head was in the clouds. My husband had said, I don't want you to wait to remarry. And literally, there's it's just nobody that I was interested in dating. I don't even know why I continued to date this guy at all. Um, there was nothing there, like nothing. And
And
so
then
anyway,
from my
I get
perspective as
home.
well, so
Yeah.
every time you guys would go out and do something, he would have you pay. Every
Yeah,
time.
there was always a story, right?
Right.
Yeah, there was always some, oh, I left my wallet. Oh, I this, oh, that. Like, and I'm thinking, dude, you have a really good job. Like, where's your money going? I've seen where you live. And I just didn't get it, you know?
Right.
Anyway, so I get home and I'm processing through this, and I'm just like, no, there's something really off about all of this and whatnot. So then fast forward to the midway event and
Well,
whatever.
even then, so like when you, I guess, confront or I guess didn't put forward the money to get him this truck, things started going in a different direction, at least what I remember. So he kind of
Hmm.
pulled back from you a little bit
He did.
and he
We
started
were seeing each
spending
other
more
less,
time.
which I was fine.
Right.
I was fine with because we weren't like exclusively dating anyway. I mean, I didn't feel like we necessarily were, but I think we were only seeing each other like once a week, or I don't know what it was. But I thought it was always so bizarre. And like he mostly, like I never went to his place because it was a dive. And like I don't even think he had a double-sized bed. I think I was just trying to figure out how to spend time with a man that wasn't my spouse, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was just in this place where like I don't really understand where I'm at right now. And also I was kind of like I married my husband when I was 17. So I kind of had in my mind like I met my husband, knew the night I was going to marry him, and we were together, and that was it. And I kind of felt like I need to explore all the options. I need to discover what different types of men are about. And I think somewhere in my mind, I just felt like I was exploring. But also, there's a part of me, I'm a Pisces, I'm a double Pisces, I'm a Pisces, Libra, Pisces. I'm dreamy, I'm magical, I'm full of love. I fall in love with everyone I meet. It may not be romantic, but I love people. You know, I love stories. He had plenty of them. I met his family. I really liked his family more than I liked him. And so anyway, so all of this happens, and so the holidays happen. He's busy seeing his kids, whatever. I'm waiting to get the money. He's got me this Christmas gift that is taking place in at the first part of January. So I wait for that to happen. And then I get back and I keep noticing that his location, I started to notice it right around that time because I would get these like inclinations that he wasn't really at work. And I'm thinking, how can you work for the government and not ever actually be at your job and keep your job, you know?
Yeah.
And I would notice that it was always at this house. And so I'm like, I would ask him things like, do you have a friend that lives around you? Like, he's like, oh, yeah, I've got a couple friends. We get together, we play video games. I'm like, oh, yeah, cool, cool. So, but I never meet these supposed friends. That never happens. So anyway, when I'm loading up the stuff for Jacob, I've seen him at this particular house multiple times. And at one point, I actually drive over there to see if his vehicle is there because I'm thinking maybe it's just hopping on the map, you know?
Right.
And so I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's just hopping on the map. I don't know what's going on. So I drive over there. Sure enough, his truck is there. And so I have Jacob load everything up with me. I know he's nearby, but I don't want to risk him like coming out or leaving or like I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's another woman, his friend, he's just hanging out and playing video games. Like I have no idea what's going on, but I know he's lying to me and I know I don't like him and I know I financially don't want to be connected to this guy in any way because he's a total loser. So, so Jacob and I run over, we do that, we take the picture, we go sit down at lunch, we leave the area, we go down to like Bountiful. I think we went to like Indian or sushi or something. And we put the phone on the table when I send the message and there's no response. And I said, oh, I said to him, and please stop sharing your location with me in the message. And so he doesn't respond. I never get a message from him. But within 2 minutes of receiving that text message, he stopped sharing his location with me. So we knew it was over. Jacob and I had a big laugh, and it was just like, it's funny. And honestly, I don't think we've really talked about it much since that all happened, but
Well, that's
it
not
was
where it
funny.
ends as well. So he lived near my sister, and I would go see my sister a lot. And so each time I would drive to my sister's house, I would see his house. And I kid you not, in a matter of 2 to 3 weeks, he had that
A
brand
brand
new
new
truck.
truck. It wasn't the one he picked out, it was a base model. It wasn't the one he was looking at with me, but because when you told me that, I went over there to see it.
Right.
But you're right. He got some person, probably a woman, to co-sign for him and get him his truck.
Yep. Because, not too much, I guess, previous to him getting that truck, he was declined at the dealership. So he either
He
had
didn't get it on
to,
his own. Yeah.
right? Yeah, he could not have gotten it on his own, so he needed someone to do it. And we we weren't surprised if he was, seeing multiple people at the same time to
Yeah.
see who could actually get him the truck.
Yeah. And, I even question if he actually had the job that he said he had because he did go to work on the base. I did see that location a few times, but I'm like, he was screwing around and not at work at times where he was saying he was going to work more than I could count.
Right.
Of course, I wasn't really looking for it until I was. So, I don't know really what he was doing with his time. And honestly, I don't care. And I didn't care then either. I was just like, I got to get this guy out of my house, my life.
So I guess this one ended, after we figured out that he had gotten his truck from somebody else that
Yeah.
was not willing to
When
go.
you drove by and told me that, and I literally drove over there, I was like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. What's funny is that when I ran for office, do you remember what you did?
I can't
You
remember.
went and put a sign on the corner so he would have to see my
Oh,
sign
right.
every day.
But it was
Right
a
on the
good
corner of his
spot
house, like two
anyways.
houses away. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good spot and a good like intersection on one of the main roads in the area. So, yeah, good anyways. We were gonna do it regardless of what was going on.
Yeah, that was funny though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can end the story here. For the listeners, Shell will be bringing some guests this month. And then, as always, make sure you subscribe and save. We're streaming anywhere you can get your podcasts. Follow us on social media. It's Romance Unraveled on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you have a story you would like to share, you can submit directly to me on one of those platforms, and I'll get you scheduled to come onto the show. Until next time.